Hey everybody. Hey everybody. It's another episode of Podcast Live with a little twist. Uh Today I'm going to be doing another episode with Jeremy. Jeremy will be on shortly, but we were going to cover um the Jordan's rules. And there was a part of Jordan's rules that really caught us that really explored whether or not Michael Jordan was able to play with other point guards or would be able to play with other point guards. What's up? But while we wait for Jeremy, since this is about cards, I do have a box of cards I want to open as like a warm up before we get to this MJ topic. Again, it's a last year's plaque. It's a select a 2021 select box, and we'll open as many as we can before Jeremy shows up. Again, tag a friend. Yes, it's been a very long time, but I'm always in the card game. I'm always in the card game. I just be low key right now. You know, um, I don't know what it was. I think like I got really exhausted from all this back and forth with COVID. What's up, everybody? And so I took a little break, but I'm gonna open up these cards while we wait for Jeremy. Again, today's topic we're gonna look at point guards that could have played with Michael Jordan, which really would have made a difference. Uh yeah. Everybody has had this like um this slight depression, I feel like, with the COVID thing. And I don't know if it's like we just had so much anxiety, and then like now that things are getting a little bit better, we're kind of like really feeling what we were kind of blocking during the time, to stay strong. But yeah, I had to take a long break, but slowly easing back. So let's open one pack or a few packs while we wait for Jeremy to come through. Again, tag a friend. Thank you guys for joining. I don't know what to expect, honestly, in this thing. I had a pack opening the other day. Let's see if there's anybody worth mentioning in this one. Ooh, here's a good one. We got to select a Joel Embiid. This is a nice one. Let me make sure I don't like mess it up. But here's Joel Embiid. See if you can see it. Right? Very nice Joel Embiid card. I wish I could get it closer for you guys to see it. But my camera doesn't like how close I get it. Anyway, that's a pretty good pick. Um uh we not playing today, Joshua. Soon. All right. I'm just getting my cards up now, opening these old packs and seeing if I could get another set. Got a nice LaMarcus Aldridge. He's back in the NBA. So that's cool. Let's open up another pack. Again, today's topic, we're going to explore different point guards that could have played with Michael Jordan. And it's kind of a weird topic, but a great topic, I think, because um obviously Michael Jordan was successful with Paxson and Kerr and then BJ Armstrong, but um in the book they talked about like why those point guards worked and why other great ones wouldn't have worked. And one of the point guards that they mentioned in the book was Kevin Johnson, or KJ. They explored whether KJ would be a good fit for Michael Jordan, and we'll talk about later. Ooh, here's a nice select Donovan Mitchell. See if it'll adjust on its own. Select. Uh, I don't know if you can see it properly. Let me try one more time. I think I have a setting in the back of my camera that allows me to change this thing. So let's see. There you go. Donovan Mitchell. Nice select Donovan Mitchell. I'll show you the Embiid again since I got better focus. Just want to grab it carefully. Any era, Joshua. So it doesn't have to be 90s basketball. It could be present day. Which point guard you think would play well with Michael Jordan. So you could start mentioning them now. I have a few, but here's a Kristoff, and this would have been good back in the day if Kristoff was injury free, but I'm not sure how much that's going to be worth. And then a Jalen Smith from the Suns. All right, let's keep going. I would think that a point guard that I would pick that I think would play great with Michael Jordan is, well, somebody mentioned this in 2MW the other day, and I thought that was an interesting choice. They picked Derek Fisher. They said Derek Fisher would be a great point guard to play with Michael Jordan, and then I asked them why. Yeah, Joshua, Rondo would be okay. I don't know if Rondo would be great. Got a Rudy Gobert. And here's why. Like, even though the person that plays with Jordan should be a great passer, that person has to actually be a great shooter as well. And I know Rondo is doing well now, but prime Rondo, believe it or not, wasn't a great shooter. Remember? And I don't know if Jordan would be very pleased if every time he kicked it out to Rondo, Rondo wouldn't make a shot. Also, Rondo would be a very difficult choice because Rondo would actually, the person guarding Rondo would actually drop off and double team Michael Jordan anyway. So Rondo's player would present even a bigger obstacle for Michael Jordan. So personally, I don't know if it would work, but we'll see what Jeremy thinks. Ooh, here's a good one I got in this pack of select. Here's it's an Anthony Davis turbocharged. Very nice, very nice. Come on, you get it. Very nice. Hopefully you can see it. You can see it a little bit here, but I think the glare is making the camera go crazy, to be honest. But yeah, we got one more pack or two more packs. Darren Williams. Ooh, so Darren Williams is an interesting pick. I don't think anybody has mentioned Darren Williams. And that's pretty much I think that's an interesting topic. When Jeremy comes on, we'll talk about whether or not Darren Williams would be a good pick. I'm trying to think about this simultaneously while opening the packs. Because Darren could shoot, Darren could hell of a basketball player. What I can't remember about Darren Williams is if he always needed to have the ball in his hand, because majority of the shots go to Michael Jordan. So would Darren Williams be able to play alongside with a person that needed that? Oh, I got a good one here. Got a Zion select. Let's see if I could give you a good view of this. All right. Nice. Very nice. Got to put that in a hard case. Ooh, okay. Look at this. Got me a Russell Westbrook. Hello. That made my day. Made my day. So Russell Westbrook. And yeah. So let's see where Jeremy's at. He sent me a message. Okay, he's headed on soon. Cool. One more pack and then we get started. CP3. Everybody says CP3. Yeah, Joshua. I know you talking about Darren Williams. He averaged 8 assists. He did. I just want to know if, like, psychologically he'd be okay playing with Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan would take away a lot of his shots. If Darren had to take shots, could he be okay with taking just a few? The point guards that played around alongside Michael did not take a lot of shots. So would he almost stunt Darren Williams' growth? That's a question. Last pack. Ooh, here's a good one too. This ended up being an awesome an awesome break. I got a Giannis. See if the clear. I can put it here. Ugh, I want you guys to see it, but the glare is bouncing back. I got a Giannis select. Um, got a got a James Harden select. All right, James Harden select, and let's see who else. Jalen Brown. Okay, those are the top guys. So I did get actually a great box. I'm gonna see if I could get these priced out and see. But yeah, so I actually, like I said before, guys, when I was reading Jordan Rules, in the book they posed the thought that maybe Kevin Johnson would be a great player to play alongside of Michael Jordan. So over the last couple days, I've been asking around whether or not that particular scenario would work. I even asked Suns fans, because KJ ended up being career player for, well, basically a legend for the Suns team, and they are a lot very familiar with his style of play. So I got a very key comment from a couple of people on the team. Let me add Jeremy. So Jeremy is here. Hi, Jeremy.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, you're just in time. So, right now, I'm really going over that scenario proposed in the book, Jordan's Rules, about
Mhm.
whether or not Kevin Johnson would be a good player alongside Michael Jordan. So I'll get into some of the comments that was posted on the Suns group in a minute, but I just wanted your opinion, because we both know what the book said, but like,
Mhm.
in if you thought about KJ's playing style, Michael Jordan's needs, and uh how the team felt about Jordan and his needs, do you think that Kevin Johnson would be a good point guard on those 90s Bulls teams?
Yes, I believe so. The two things Jordan never played with: a dominant big man and a all-star point guard. You can't count BJ Armstrong because BJ Armstrong made the all-star team after Jordan left that one year.
Mhm.
And then he didn't make it in 95, the year Jordan came back, and then they lost him in the expansion draft. So that was like the only year that BJ Armstrong had made the All-Star squad, along with Horace Grant, Charles Oakley, and John Starks.
Mm,
So that year in '94, half of the Eastern Conference All-Stars was Bulls and Knicks because they each sent three. They each had three players go, and then Shaq, Larry Johnson, I think Alonzo Mourning was there. No, I don't think he was in that year. But half the team was um, Bulls and Knicks. So to go back to the question, yeah, I believe Kevin Johnson would have fit under with that Bulls roster. I
mhm.
don't know about before Phil Jackson got there.
Right.
Another thing, if it was under Doug Collins, I don't think it would work
Okay.
because pretty much Jordan was very ball dominant, but at that time, Pippen really didn't. emerge into the player he became. And John Paxson wasn't that guy. Craig Hodges wasn't that guy. B.J. Armstrong felt he was that guy, but wasn't getting the chance to prove himself. So when Chicago went on that losing streak towards the end of the 89 season, I believe that's when they won 47 games that year, because they won 50 the year before when Jordan won his first MVP. That was Pippen's rookie year. The following season, they Chicago, they was like in a rut. So being that they never had that point guard, so this is where they was like, okay, let's let Jordan run the point. So Jordan was running point guard, I believe, the last 25 games for that season.
Mm-hmm.
And during that stretch, he averaged a triple-double 10 out of the 11 games, where he was averaging 33 points, 11
Right.
assists. And so, and this is stuff that, you know, LeBron was doing, Russell Westbrook was doing, but Jordan was doing this first. And if Jordan wanted to, he proved that he could do it, but he didn't want to run the point.
Mm.
So that was one of the first things that when Phil Jackson took over the team, one of the first things that Jordan told him was, I don't want to play a point. I want to move back to shooting guard. That's when the responsibility went to
Right.
Pippen.
Right. I remember that.
So it went to Pippen, then Pippen started, you know, to find himself, and then this is when also with that confidence, and then Pippen seeing the moves that the Bulls was making, players like Stacey King and Cliff Levingston was making more than him. So this is what was leading to that jealousy.
Mm.
So Chicago, like I said in our last podcast, they had a chance to draft a point guard. They had a chance to get Tim Hardaway, and Tim Hardaway is from Chicago. He
Right.
would have been the, you know, the hometown hero. And I think with that would have they would have clashed, you know, seeing how Tim Hardaway style of play. But then again, it worked under Don Nelson with Run TMC with Chris Mullin and Mitch Richmond, where all three of them was averaging over 20 points. Jordan was the only player on Chicago averaging over 20. I don't even I think Pippen was hovering right 19, 20 points a game.
19 or so, like, yeah.
Yeah, so under Phil Jackson, I believe Kevin Johnson, and a lot of people, they like to sleep on Kevin Johnson. Like I see with the with this younger generation, they swear players is trash. Like, come on, like basketball was not invented in the last 5 years. Like the style of play have changed, but there's many players from back then. People, they like to plug right into this era, and Kevin Johnson is one of those players.
So what do you, I mean, you know, the book kind of disagreed with you.
With the book? Who, Sam Smith?
Yeah. So the book said that.
But remember, that book was written in 1990. I'm talking about, when I say Kevin Johnson could play with the Bulls, I'm talking about later, like 91, 92, 93, definitely in 98.
Kind of, yeah, disagreed with you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that.
Go
ahead. So yeah, I'm gonna read some comments that were made by actual Suns fans, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously, you know, being Suns fans or fans of their own team, they're gonna be pro Kevin Johnson could play with anybody, right? Mm-hmm. But there are a couple of people that brought up some really deep points, and that also led me to believe they really thought about this. So obviously the fair share of people agreed with you. But here are a couple comments. I'm going to read both of them to you. And then after that, you can respond, right? So I'll call this guy Rich. He said no. All right. KJ couldn't play with MJ for the same reason KJ and Chuck were not a good fit. They both needed to be at the rim. Kerr and Paxson were both spot-up shooters. KJ was anything but that. And then another person said, Yes, but it would have been different. They'd have been even more transition slash push the break with him out on the floor alongside Pippen, MJ, and Grant. Also, someone would have feasted at all times because you'd have nowhere to hide and a less fleet-footed defender. Couldn't just put that guy on Paxson or BJ and hide. So he kind of said yes, but like it would have to change everything, the way they played. And they were more triangle than transition. Um I guess later in their years. So what do you think about those two thoughts in terms of how KJ would have affected those Bulls teams?
Mm, one, I believe people they're too reliant on the 3-point shot. It wasn't that big of a thing in Jordan's era. We're seeing that, that movement of the way the game is played over the last 5 years, thanks to Golden State. I would agree that Chicago, I'll agree in the sense that Chicago found the recipe of of building a winning program, and that was surround Jordan with big bodies. Because if you look in the draft, they was drafting Scott Williams, Stacey King. They signed for Cliff Leviston. They was all getting power forwards and centers. Now they did draft a couple of shooting guards and small forwards. Mm-hmm. Nobody remembers their name. Nobody. I can't even remember their name off the top. I remember. I forgot. I might have to go Basketball Reference to go pull up some of these people. But with Chicago, they had Paxson. Paxson was there from when Jordan was there. But Paxson, like, I don't know if anyone remembers what Bill Russell said. Bill Russell said if Paxson played in his era, Paxson would not be in the league. Bill Russell said that. Because that he was just like one-dimensional. He was too slow. He can't defend no one. Paxson was the weak link on the court. So Paxson's job was to, stay in the corner. When Jordan drives to the basket or Scotty, they could kick it out because the defense is going to collapse on them. So he found a niche, and it worked for him. Because Paxson, I don't want to say he was on his way out, but, nobody was kicking the door to sign him. And then when they drafted Armstrong was coming off the bench, and BJ felt that he should have been started. He was the starting point guard. So that was a conflict in himself. So it wasn't till the 91-92 season where they started, like, I guess, flirted with that idea. But then 93, Armstrong was the starting point guard.
Okay, so there's a lot of layers to what you just said, because to call him a weak link.
Yeah, Paxson weak link.
Definitely. How is he both the weak link and the perfect person? Because to me, he was the perfect fit for what Michael Jordan needed.
Yes, on the offensive end. But the weak link, he's the guy that they're gonna target on the defensive end, because he can't keep up with quicker guards. So if you put Kevin Johnson will cook John Paxson all day. He can't keep up with him.
Right.
So that's why I say he's the weak link. And then on top of that, Paxson being, a small point guard, even by today's standards, a small point guard, if you put someone like, let's say, a Russell Westbrook or John Wall,
right?
Paxson's no match for, because those guys are too big and too strong for him.
Right.
So Paxson was the perfect fit, as in, if Jordan is driving to the basket or Scotty's driving to the basket, he's in the corner and he'll hit that spot up shot. But remember, Chicago also had Craig Hodges. and
Right.
BJ Armstrong to fill that same niche.
Right.
And out the three, I would say maybe Armstrong was the youngest out the three. I know BJ could score. Like I know he was like a scorer in college, but he was like pretty much like held back
Mm-hmm.
in the league. So that's why I believe that a player like Kevin Johnson, if you put him in that starting lineup with Jordan and Pippen, now you got to worry about you got a three-headed monster because Kevin Johnson was quick. And remember, Kevin Johnson was dunking on dudes, just like how he threw it on.
That's true.
Went right up his chest. And Chicago never had that type of a point guard. And I think it will work perfectly because look at Charles Barkley, his first year with Phoenix.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley, Kevin Johnson, Dan Marley. And then you throw in Danny Ainge. They had Richard Dumas, Oliver Miller, Mark West. Like everyone found like and that Phoenix Suns team was already good before Barkley got there. That was the same team that they went to the Western Conference Finals, I believe, in '90, and they lost to what was the year? I think they lost to Portland. Yeah, they lost to Portland. But I think that Phoenix team also was the one that knocked out the Lakers. Magic Johnson Lakers. They knocked them out. And that was a 63-win team. Kareem's first year in retirement. That was the Lakers' first year with Vlade Divac. And they went to the Western Conference Finals. No, not Western Conference Finals. I'm sorry. They had the best record in the league, and that's when Magic won his last MVP. And Barkley was second, and Jordan was third in the MVP voting.
So I just want to real quick go through some other players that were mentioned by other people, and then you could tell me whether or not you think they would be good. Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to start for.
Because he wasn't selfish. I'm sorry, he wasn't selfish too. So that's why I think it'll work also.
I just don't believe that. Sorry, I feel like a player of his caliber would want his shots. He's not just gonna like be okay.
Jordan. Yes.
But let's start with this wall and move on to 2MW options. So Joshua had said Gary Payton or Jason Kidd. Ooh. What's your thought about those two?
Yes, I was actually, when I was putting my list together last night, I actually thought about those two players.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, both of them. Can you just imagine Gary Payton and Jordan in the backcourt? Can you imagine the amount of trash talking that would be? They locking everyone up, and then you throw Pippen into the mix. Like,
right.
Good luck.
Okay, let's do. This one we were talking about before you came on, and I really couldn't answer because I couldn't really think about the style of play versus cross with the mentality of the player and how it would match with Jordan. So Deron Williams.
Deron Williams is CP3. I would like CP3 a better fit with Jordan because I think a player has to be mentally strong to deal with Jordan, and I think CP3 is that type of player that's mentally strong to deal with him. Deron Williams, I know early in his career, it was debatable who was the better point guard between him and CP3, and then he just fell off the face of this earth ever since he came to Brooklyn. He didn't really do nothing.
Right.
He was better in Utah. I'll go with CP3.
Okay. Here's another one from 2MW. Steph Curry.
Yes. And the reason why.
Okay, go ahead.
I think so because as much as Steph Curry does, the stupid shit that he does at times, the silly turnovers, at the same time, he's not a selfish player. To me, like the perfect point guard will have to be that type of player who's not selfish to be able to play with Jordan, because Jordan's going to get his. But also under Phil Jackson's system, they wanted everyone else to get theirs early in the game, like get the team involved. So if we take the 91 Bulls and we replace Curry with replace Paxson with Curry. Yes, Curry will get destroyed in defense. The same thing with John Paxson. Same thing applies. But Curry's a way better shooter than Paxson.
Yeah. Here's another one I'd like to run by you.
Yes. I was hoping someone would bring that up. Penny Hardaway was that dude. Now, I'm a big Jordan fan. You see, I got the jersey on.
Yeah.
The first player that I started liking besides Jordan was Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway in 95, 96 was that dude. If you go watch the 96 Eastern Conference Finals, Penny gave it to Chicago in game 1. I think he dropped like 36, but then Jordan dropped 45 on them on that closeout game. So Penny Hardaway, perfect. It's a perfect match. He's not selfish. He was a good defender, and he has that size at 6'7". Okay. So basically, you have someone who's Scottie Pippen's height, and is a better scorer than Scottie.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true with Penny Hardaway. Here's another one.
Dame. I could see that because, in a sense, that Dame, yes, we seen him drop 60. That's because he had to. There's no one else on Portland that Dame could turn to because McCollum sometimes be MIA. Melo wasn't that dude no more. Maybe if he had a prime Brandon Roy, he wouldn't have to do as much, or LaMarcus Aldridge. So I think Damian Lillard could fit in that system.
Okay, here's another one.
Mr. Big Shot. I could see it because I never got that Chauncey being that selfish type player.
Gotcha.
Look how he orchestrated, with those Detroit Pistons, with Rip Hamilton, Rasheed Wallace, Tayshaun Prince, Ben Wallace. I mean, it just worked. It just worked perfectly.
How about this guy?
Oh yeah, was someone reading my mind, or did they see when I was posting this? Like, these are some of the players that I mentioned. Yes, Mark Price definitely could fit. And Mark Price, he doesn't get talked about a lot. That guy can shoot.
Yeah.
Like we're all marveling over Curry and Klay Thompson. Mark Price could shoot just as good as them. He just didn't have the green light back then.
All right. Here's another one.
Nick Van Exel. No, it would not work.
Why not?
Did it work with Kobe?
Exactly.
Nope. I rest my case.
Okay.
They will be fighting in practice. I can see it now. And of course, Van Exel will be the first one to go. Don't get me wrong, Van Exel was that talent, but with his attitude, Van Exel felt like he was that dude. And little do people know, Van Exel was one of the reasons why Magic Johnson retired in '96.
Really?
He couldn't get along with him because Magic was still feeling that, yeah, I'm Magic Johnson. The Lakers is my team. This is how we did it in the 80s, the Showtime Lakers. And then Van Exel, being the young guy at the time, was like, nah, like that was back then. This is now. And then you had Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones, laid back type of player. And then, when they signed Shaq and they did the trade for Kobe, Magic Johnson was supposed to be playing with them, but he retired.
Yeah.
And Van Exel was one of them.
That is a conversation in itself. I never heard that. Here's an interesting one.
Drew Holiday. I mean,
Not
I could see
sure.
it. I mean, he's not that selfish of a player, so I think it could work. But would he be able to fit under that triangle offense? I don't know.
Why are you questioning that?
I don't know. I just don't. I mean, I don't doubt his talent, but I mean, I guess the way that how he fit in with Milwaukee, it just worked. But Milwaukee, they was like pretty much one piece away from winning it all. I felt like the year before,
Mm-hmm.
so he just came in at that opportune time.
Yeah. He's like enigma to me. Like he's great, but I can never remember nothing about it.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I can't never like I can't really say he's great because
Mhm.
you
I'm
know
surprised no one brought up John Morant or
it-
LaMelo Ball.
here's one from Joshua
Kemba
Kemba.
Walker, since he picked them. Mm, hmm. Kemba in the backcourt with MJ. Mm,
I'm not sure. I mean,
then
I feel like Kemba would do anything Michael Jordan wanted, but like
even back then, yeah.
I just don't know. I feel like that's a tough one. That's a
Yes.
tough one. We could get back to that.
Yeah, we put him in the same category with Drew.
Yeah.
Yes. Jason Kidd definitely, because Jason Kidd is he's not the type of selfish player. Like he's not worried about getting 25 or whatever. He's more concerned about getting getting everyone else involved. So that works perfectly with a player like Jordan.
Right.
He wouldn't be my first choice though.
Okay, I got two more for you and then we can wrap it up. How about the kind of nemesis yet like respectful.
I thought we brought up Gary Payton.
Do we?
Yeah. Well, someone like Jason Kidd or Gary Payton.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we did CP3, but okay. Officially the glove, yay and yay or nay? Yay because you said it's trash talking,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Here's
a defensive dog. I could see Gary Payton if he was under, coming in as a rookie. They will have their fights in practice because I think he got choked out by Xavier McDaniel at practice. What happened between them two? And X-Man put him in his spot early.
Here's a good one.
Tony Parker, yes.
I think honestly, I think that would be one of the best choices.
Tony Parker.
Yeah.
Unselfish player, very quick, something that Chicago never had. And he will fit right in. He will fit right in. But how come no one mentioned Steve Nash?
Someone did. But I'm petty, so I mean I'll put it up.
MVPs?
I'll just put it up just because you want to talk about it. But I didn't want to talk about it. Steve Nash, right? What are your thoughts about Nash?
Oh yeah. Actually, he'll be one of the better picks.
Please, I think no.
I remember watching. I forgot when they was playing Phoenix, and no, it was either Phoenix or it was a playoff game, and they're like, "We're going to double team Dirk. We are going to leave Steve Nash," and Nash dropped like 40 something on them. I remember that playoff game. That was in 2005. 2005. He lit them up.
I got an interesting one here. And then one more.
Terry Porter. Oh yes, we going old school. I like it. Terry Porter, yes. The backcourt of Clyde the Glide Drexler. Two NBA final appearances. I know he made a All-Star appearance. Very underrated player. He definitely will fit right in. Definitely. Any point guard that is unselfish could fit in that Chicago Bulls system.
Okay.
Not a player like Van Axel. No.
So one more. And
Is it
then
Mark Jackson?
I mean everybody said Mark Jackson. You know, I don't think Mark Jackson would be a good player. Do you? With Jordan? Let's just talk about it. Mark Jackson?
I don't think he will fit Chicago's vision. I mean, unselfish player, but him too was a little bit of defensive liability, and him too was a little bit on the slow side. But so was John Paxson. But Paxson is a better shooter than Mark Jackson.
I mean, not as slow as Mark Jackson. To be honest, I don't even think Mark Jackson was a great point guard. I mean, like I feel like in order to be a point guard, you need to actually see.
I know that's my alumni matter, Bishop Lachlan. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I just feel like if you're going to be a point guard, you have to face the basket at least one time walking on the court, and he could never do that.
Oh, back to the basket.
Yeah, because he couldn't dribble. To me, but
more ineffective.
It was effective, but you know, I'm teetering on the disrespectful end, but I'm just being honest. I need a point guard that I could like. How he can't forget fitting the Bulls' vision. Like you need court vision. He's not facing the court at any point in time during bringing the ball up.
Yeah, he is. By the time having his back to the basket,
yeah,
and looking over his shoulder. This way, he don't get stolen.
Yeah,
simple and effective.
No, we needed more. Okay, I couldn't leave without my homeboy
Russell Westbrook.
What is your thought?
I don't know. I mean, Westbrook, he got that. He has that dog in him. Like he has that old school mentality, and actually, he has that drive like Jordan. Like I'm gonna win this game, even if I have to do it by myself. But my issue with Westbrook is your point guard should not be out rebounding your center and power forwards. It just shouldn't be happening. But
that's not his fault.
Yeah, by telling his bigs to box out everyone and he grabs it. But that's another discussion for another day.
But that was a team. That was a team thing.
So you get triple doubles?
No, they did it so that they could start the offense faster. Because if you think about it, if you do the old school way of rebounding, like your big catches a rebound, then he got to turn, then he got to look, then he got to figure out the point guard got to get a pick, get free, or be able to outrun his guard. Then you get the ball, then you start the offense. By the time all of that happens, you have to run a set. Whereas if the point guard rebounds, you start your break immediately, right? And you don't really need the center running the break in the front. He could trail in the back, and they'll still be effective. And that was the bigger thing. He didn't tell them box out for me. That was like a way to initiate the offense for that team, since they didn't have like spot up shooters. You just run, So here's one. I'm not sure.
Derrick Rose. Yep. It will work.
Really? Why?
Yeah, it will definitely work. Who did Derrick Rose have in Chicago that he could rely on scoring? Not Carlos Boozer. Sure as hell not Joakim Noah.
Right. I mean, that's fine, but like if you just think about what MJ needs, he needs a spot up shooter. Is Derrick Rose a spot up shooter? No,
but I'll paint a scenario. Say Derrick Rose is the one, brings up the court. He breaks down the defense. You got Jordan camping around, or either be at the top of the key, or the defense is going to collapse on him. On Rose, he's going to kick it out. Jordan would hit those open jump shots. Not his style of play,
Right.
but he can hit that shot.
Right.
But then you got to worry about if you double team Jordan, you're leaving Rose open to attack the basket. If
That's
you
true.
double team Rose, you're leaving Jordan the chance to go 1-on-1. And then you got Pippen right there also. So you're throwing, defense wouldn't know how to react.
That's very true.
That's why I think it would necessarily work. But again, Jordan never had that explosive, that all-star type shooting guard. I mean, not shooting guard, point guard, which is why this whole thing with Kevin Johnson came up in the first place.
Right. So Derrick Rose would be a good pick. Tony Parker would be a good pick.
A great pick.
Anybody else on your list that we didn't mention today?
LaMelo Ball.
LaMelo Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, talk about that.
I think so. What they got going on right now in Charlotte, is beautiful to watch. I just noticed that they had a national game on TNT last week. When was the last time the Charlotte Hornets, this version of Charlotte Hornets was on national TV? Right. And LaMelo Ball is one of the reasons why. Now, they're doing good right now. I know, I think they only lost like 2 games so far this season, 2-3 games. They're doing great. So them, the Hornets, the Knicks, and the Bulls all surprising me so far this season.
So, in short, your top 3 players to play the best alongside Michael Jordan would be
Mark Price,
Steph Curry,
and who else did we mention? Tony Parker,
and LaMelo Ball.
That'll be 4. He'll be in my top 5. And Penny Hardaway.
And Penny Hardaway 5. So Mark Price.
Did I mention Curry?
Steph Curry, yeah. Mark Price, Steph Curry.
Penny Hardaway. LaMelo
Ball.
I know we mentioned Parker, but I want to throw in CP3 in there also.
So, oh man,
it's a tie between.
Okay, so no, from the top, do your list. Your 5.
My top 5. Now, does it have to be in order, or I could just
doesn't have to be in order? Could just be top 5 people.
Okay,
that's Michael Jordan.
When I make my dream teams in NBA 2K, I remember I had showed you something from last year, and I had Penny Hardaway as my starting point guard, and you was like, "Oh, you could do better than that." I'm like, "Why?" Penny's that dude. I'm riding out with Penny. Penny will be, one of those guys. Steph Curry definitely, because yes, he's a defensive liability, but boy can shoot lights out.
Right.
CP3.
Okay.
Not only can he shoot, he has that court vision, and he plays defense. Mm-hmm. He just undersized. And then we got Tony Parker, unselfish player, could break down the defense, score when he has to. It's like, what more can you ask for out of one guard? And then LaMelo, and I saw this a couple of weeks ago. They actually someone made the comparison with LaMelo Ball and Penny Hardaway.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So that's another topic for another day. We really have to look at the video and see, because I think right now in LaMelo's career, we're still coming out of the fog of everything people thought about his dad, and really need to just look at him as a player. So maybe over the next week or so, we can dig deep and do a provocative show. Is LaMelo
not saying he's better than Penny Hardaway, because Penny Hardaway was taking the league by storm. Like, before Kobe, the league was supposed to be Grant Hill and Penny Hardaway. Injuries robbed us from seeing that. And Kobe came and took it and ran away from it. But I want people to remember players like Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill. I want people to remember players like those. Those are the forgotten players.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, let's take a while and look at the videotape and see where the connection may be with LaMelo and Penny Hardaway. From what I remember, I feel like he might be a little bit on on a higher trajectory than Penny Hardaway, to be honest. But
Well, let's see. Penny Hardaway was third pick in the draft. LaMelo Ball, third pick in the draft. Both 6'7" point guards. Penny does have that advantage of playing 3 years of college. Remember, Shaq was vouching for him because of what they did on the set of Blue Chips. By the way, that was a good movie.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. We can do a video of we go from books to video, right? But I just want to see. I'm not convinced. I watched Penny, so I know. I just I felt he was good, but I feel like there may be a little bit of overratedness there.
On whose part? On LaMelo or Penny?
Penny. But
really?
yeah. But here's the thing: Jordan respected him, and so I have to maybe take
the only player that Jordan wore.
Right. So I'm gonna go back. Maybe I was a kid and I was petty. I've always been petty. And
how I feel for me to say, I watched when Orlando eliminated the Bulls. I had to go to school the next day, and they out on me. So I hated Orlando.
Yeah,
so I couldn't wait for when Chicago had swept them. Nobody was more happier than me.
Yeah.
But for me to say Penny Hardaway was that dude, trust me, he was that dude.
He probably was. I admit I am a hater. So like anything that was anti Steve Kerr, meaning at the time like Chicago Bulls, because that was my favorite player. Like I just had to just went to the side. So Penny had to go to the side as well. Like I didn't care.
Go to the side.
Anything anti Steve Kerr, you know. So
Steve Kerr was on the Cavs.
That's true at the time.
With Mark Price.
At the time, but I mean, actually, anybody that was anti BJ Armstrong, I feel like, because I loved BJ, and then BJ got waived for Steve Kerr. Right?
No. What happened was in '95, the expansion draft.
Right.
Remember, each team is allowed to keep 8 players, and they get rid of everything else. So I know it's a little bit off topic, but I choose violence today because people want to say that, you know, the Bulls in this whole expansion area. Now, explain to me how the hell an expansion team prevented teams from winning a championship when one of those teams made it to the NBA Finals, the Orlando Magic, and 3 of them, Miami Heat and Charlotte Hornets, had multiple 50-game winning seasons. Everyone with the exception of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And they had KG and Stephon Marbury. They made it to the playoffs, but I think they made it in 98, I believe. It was 98 when they first made the playoffs. 97, 98. How did they stop a team from winning the championship? An expansion team is not the reason why Chicago won 6 out of 8, or Houston winning day 2, or San Antonio. Remember, the Spurs won it right after Chicago, and the Lakers right after. So, expansion team is the reason why Shaq and Kobe won day first, or when Tim Duncan won day first. Like, I'm not buying that, because basically they got the best players in the draft,
right,
and the players that nobody wanted. So, in Chicago's case, in '95. Go down the list. You're keeping Jordan. You're keeping Pippen.
Right.
You're keeping Kukoc. That's 3 so far. Now, there is keeping Longley. There is keeping Bill Wennington, one of the best shooting centers I've ever seen. Now, we're down to 3 spots. Steve Kerr. Who they kept? They kept who Who did they keep?
Was that 95? So I'm thinking, was that before Judd? Ron.
But oh yeah, they kept Ron Harper because Ron Harper was on the
Yeah,
squad
yeah.
before 95.
Right.
Team in the 94 off season. So you kept Ron Harper. Now you're down to one spot. Who you gonna keep? And Chicago wanted to keep BJ Armstrong, but he didn't fit. He didn't fit into what Chicago was trying to do. So they had no choice but to put him in the expansion draft. And I believe it was I think Toronto. Let me do
We gotta do some research on that. But you
but
know,
they end up going to Charlotte and
I
then Golden State.
I do appreciate you enlightening me on that. Because as a kid, I was heartbroken.
Hey, I was heartbroken too. And I remember they announced it during halftime. I believe it was either game 3 or game 4 of the 95 finals. I remember I was sitting there on my watching. Yes, it is a business. Watching it was either the halftime show or the pregame show.
There was
and Bob Costas, he announced it. He was like, "Oh,
on a little blue screen, you got BJ's picture."
In the expensive draft. I'm like, why would they do that?
I don't know. I don't know if we saw the same thing, but the way I interpreted it was BJ Armstrong has been waived, Steve Kerr, and I was like, who is this guy, Steve Kerr, that they are replacing BJ Armstrong with? I was baffled.
Nah, they never because Steve Kerr was there the 2 seasons before. Now, when Chicago won their 3-peat, and it's another thing, a little off topic, or how Jordan haters love to bring up, Pippen led Chicago to 55 games. Mm-hmm. They only lost 2 more games. Okay, what happened the year before? What about the 67 win Bulls? So they lost 12 more games from the 92 season as opposed to the 94 season. Why don't we talk about that?
Right.
They don't. So Jerry Krause, he upgraded the roster. First you kept Cartwright, Grant, Pippen, Armstrong, Paxson. Scott Williams was still there, and Stacey King was still there. But now you bring in Steve Kerr, Luke Longley, Bill Wennington, and they re-signed Pete Myers. And the only reason why I brought his name up because he was just one of the players there. I know he didn't really do nothing, but those are the players that was brought in. So to me, Luke Longley was their best center.
Right.
Better than Cartwright. Cartwright was on his way out because Cartwright retired after the end of the season. Cartwright and Paxson retired after that 94 season. And that's when they brought in Ron Harper.
Yeah. I want to wrap up, but you brought up a good point, which is probably another topic about this book, because you said Paxson retired, Wellington retired, and in the book they talked about how management played a key role in Paxson's retirement, and I don't know if you remember it.
Well, after 94.
Yeah, so like I'm gonna just paraphrase. It was in the book. So here in this scenario, Paxson wanted to extend. He actually wanted to I think he signed a 3-year, $330K deal, and then he was at the end of that deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then wanted to stay on, and the Bulls were considering it, and I don't know how many years they would extend him, but they also hung a carrot in front of him on like saying that after he retired, he could become a broadcaster.
Oh yeah,
an analyst.
I remember.
And then he felt like the Bulls were kind of jiving him, so then he hired Michael Jordan's agent, and then after that, his playing time started dropping.
Mm-hmm.
And management played a key role in kind of stopping him from getting to even not only just extend his contract, but the possibility of him getting to a new team, because once your minutes drop, then you can't shoot enough to make yourself valuable or show
Yeah.
off how valuable you could be to another team. So in our next video, I want to talk about how powerful is management and what are like the sacrifices they're willing to make that could be detrimental to the team. It's a deep topic, but like I
Yeah,
was
they had to do that because by them limiting Pax's minutes, that meant more minutes from Armstrong because they basically fighting over that same position.
yeah, but
So it out.
it just seemed like it only came after Paxson decided to arm himself with stronger representation that the minutes started dropping.
Yeah, but
And
you also gotta remember who was coaching.
yeah,
Jackson. Phil
yeah,
Jackson pretty much had the final say, and he sure as hell wasn't listening to Jerry Krause.
right. But there were other parts of the book
Mhm.
where people's minutes were dropping, and then they asked Jackson about it, and he would say, "They told me minutes." Right, which I thought was very, very controversial. And it just made me kind of shake a little bit, because you'd think that coaches' priority is winning, but
Which it was.
yeah, it was, but like they also have a job they need to keep. And if management is kind of dictating off the court, like who gets what minutes, it becomes more than that, right?
There was a lot of things. I gotta look at that again because everyone was you know, complaining about minutes because Stacey King wanted out badly. And that was one of the players that Krause was high on. So
Right.
they wanted to increase his playing time to show what he could do so they could trade him to get something in return.
Right.
Now, there was also, and it's off topic, but also in the book, I don't know if you saw the part where Krause was trying to maneuver some pieces, even toward the idea of trading Jordan at one point. And there was a package that they was trying to get I believe Rick Smits and Chuck Persons
Mm,
and Mitch Richmond.
I
So
believe,
Chicago was
yeah.
looking at a possible starting five of Rick Smits, Horace Grant, Scottie Pippen, Chuck Person, and I believe Mitch Richmond.
Trading Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I didn't get to that part, but let's see.
Okay.
That's probably another top. Let's do another top. No, it's not a spoil, but let's see. Trade Michael Jordan and who, past or present, would help the
To me,
team.
I think he's like. To me, it's like you can never trade Michael Jordan. Just like how you can never trade LeBron. You will have to give up too much
Right.
to get that type of caliber of player.
Let's see. Let's see if we take a player from the present and put him in the past, what happens, right? All right. So let's play with that topic for the next time. All right, but I'm gonna end the show here. Thank you everybody for joining. This is a special episode of One Card Chaos Live where we discuss Jordan Rules the book. I have my co-host Jeremy. Thank you, Jeremy, for coming. And our next episode, we'll find something controversial about the book to talk about. All right. With that said, thank you for joining us and see you next time.